Hi, everybody. So, Jimmie and I want to welcome you guys to the Energetics of the Fifth Dimension series. And we're really excited about this. And we're going to talk about what's moving in the field right now, energies, prophecies, and the solstice, which is coming. So, how are you doing today, Jimmie?
I am doing well, Sister Honey. Getting through that first week of transformation from Dominican Republic, Las Terrenas, beautiful ocean beach, soaking in the ocean every day, and walking into beautiful Austin. And then the energy. I know we're going to talk about all that today, but I'm definitely settled in now. I'm feeling wonderful as always, and I'm excited to do this very first episode with you on what we're going to be doing on a weekly basis to help people, with these 5D energies that are hitting. So it's really super exciting, sister.
It is. It's huge.
It's
The
huge.
energies have been enormous.
Yes.
And Father's Day was a really big day for
Yes.
energy, and it kind of continued into yesterday. I know that on Father's Day, I just spent most of the day on the couch.
Yes.
So, being forgiving of yourself right now is really important. If you feel unfocused or you want to berate yourself for being lazy, really your body's adjusting to the energy.
You need
Yeah.
to do it. It's time to slow. It's interesting because I was telling my beautiful wife, Cynthia, I said, because it was the whole week and you and I were having conversations about it. And, I'm like a machine. When it comes to business, I'm like a machine. And, we'll get into the history how I'm even back to this right now that happened as I was down in the Dominican Republic. But I don't get distracted. I'm like, boom, boom, task, 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 prioritization, boom, 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 boom. I was not able to focus at all. And the spirit kept on telling me, my soul, my higher self, slow down, brother Jimmie, slow down. Absorb this energy. Let it sink in. Let it resonate with you. Let it upgrade you. It's okay that you sleep in another hour. It's okay that you go lay down. It's okay that you're going to take it easy. You're going to have to take it easy. And, that's something that a lot of people have a hard time doing, Sister Honey, is, taking it easy and understanding that, we have never been hit like we're getting hit. And before we get into this, I want to talk about this first episode. It's what's moving in the field right now: energies, prophecies, and the solstice portal. So that is the subject matter, and we're going to be covering, because I like to tell people what I'm going to tell them, you know, and then tell them, and then tell them what we told them. But what's really happening in the energy field right now? Prophetic insight for this weekend, Summer Solstice Gateway, a big, big thing. Sister Honey's going to fill you in on that. How to prepare for the wave of light rising this week. Practices, tools, and mindset shifts to carry you through it, not to survive through it, but to thrive through it. And two sacred free live events that were happening this week within our community. So, again, I'm very super excited, Sister Honey, to talk about this and do it on a weekly basis to help as many brothers and sisters as we can help get through this. Because I mean, I've been doing this for decades as far as my own spiritual connection and in personal development mindset. And I could not believe what happened to me personally last week. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Hmm. Yeah, it kind of like knocks you out and you feel tired as soon as you wake up.
Yeah.
So, one thing we have to remember is that we have a soul that's busy all night and is helping create these energies that are getting funneled to us. So, our soul is tired, in a way, like it's been working, and then comes back into the body and is basically then supporting the body through its process and the inner child, which is the human soul. So it's a huge deal what's going on
Yes.
now. I don't think a lot of people fathom the magnitude of what we're doing
Yes.
because, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
massive thing. Hmm.
Yes. It's. everything is frequency.
Yeah.
The divine creator, whatever anyone calls the divine creator. And it's interesting because we just had this conversation before we did this recording about, in the Tao, they can't even name it, because what do you name something that's everything? And everything's in
Right.
it and it's in everything. A God isn't even big enough. Universe isn't big enough. None of these words are big enough. There isn't even a word that we understand that's big enough. So that's
Mm-mm.
why I decided to say divine creator, because again, it's interesting. People, I had a gentleman email me and he was talking about prayers and, about using certain words, different people use words. That doesn't matter. It's the frequency, it's the feeling, it's the connection, the relationship to the creator of all things, to that point of origin, that matters. And it's not about words. So regardless of what words people use, I don't really get into that debate, but I can tell you the upgrade is happening to Mother Earth. The upgrade is happening to all of our universe and probably all of existence. I think
Right.
this shift is happening everywhere at all times. It is super big. I've been talking about, you and my son the other day talked about the great split or the
Hmm.
great separation that I've been having in my spirit for years now. I've talked about it, and it's happening. When we were talking when we first met, um, you want me to talk a little bit about how we met before we get into some
Yeah, I
juicy
think it's
stuff here?
important for people to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have been online business person for 30 years, and I've got about 85,000 hours in my craft. And to say that I was a workaholic was an understatement. I went beyond workaholics. You can just ask my beautiful wife, Cynthia, that. But, as you get younger, as you grow younger, priorities shift and change. And so, I've made a lot of money throughout my life. I'm stewarding a lot. I mean, the divine has given me stewardship over a lot where I could retire. And I was planning on winding things down. I was involved in putting together a spiritual community and membership back a couple years ago. It was actually my grandson's birthday just happened on the 9th of June. And it was actually about that time that the llama started going rogue on his birthday, my grandson's birthday, the same time. And I felt, I just put everything on hold at that point. And I don't think at that point I would have been ready for what we're doing at this moment together. But back in March, when I was figuring out, okay, I'm going to wind down, I'm going to take it easy, going to live on that beach as much as I can in Las Terrenas, Dominican Republic. And that's what I was going to do. And I got shaken in meditation by the divine and the angels and, all that you have, your higher self and all the guides and all of those things that are around you that you can't see because they're on a certain frequency that are assisting you. And it was like, no, you're not. You're not doing that. You are going to get this spiritual community up that we talked to you about. And these episodes are brought to you by stepinyourpower.com, but you're going to get that up because we need that. And you're going to work more than you work now in order to make that happen. Well, at the same time that's happening, Brother Brad got introduced to me through Brother Scotty Sachs of Sovereign Radio. And I was telling him, and he goes, "You've got to meet my business partner, spiritual partner, Sister Honey." I said, "When? When can you get us on?" Because I know the divine. When I got that wake up call, like, no, it's enough. It's been 2 years. Get over it. Get back on it. Get it done. You're not getting a long time to get it done. You need to have this soft launch in April, the end of April, and you got to get this free community done for people so that they can help them through all of this that is happening. And so you appear, and to get to know you, you are my soul sister. You are very special. People don't even understand how special you are and why you are here. It's pretty exciting. The divine moves things the way that you couldn't move it that way. There's one saying that really is good for this time. go with the flow. I mean, it's good for every time, but go with the flow. That's kept repeating in my mind that I need to go with the flow. Don't fight against anything. Let this stuff that's done serving you leave and let the new come in, because what isn't serving you that's old and leaving is to make space for what the new is. And so I'm actually going through that whole transition right now myself. I think most people are, Sister Honey, right? But it's a pleasure to be working in this realm with you, Sister Honey, in this lifetime. And I'm just excited, Brother Brad, my son Tommy, all the beautiful brothers and sisters, thousands of them now, but hundreds of guides coming in to help anchor this transition. And it is one heck of a transition. It is.
Oh yeah, it's the biggest thing we've done in this universe.
Yeah, I can feel it.
So yeah, we've ascended the universe, and now we're in the process of continuing to ascend humanity. Now, humanity has ascended into the fifth dimension. Do they all know it? No.
No.
No, they don't. And every time I come on here, my hair is doing something weird. Anyway, yeah, there's like a piece of hair in my face. Anyway, it's like, how do you say it? Like it's the biggest thing that we've ever done in the last 300,000 years.
Yes.
But it's also the biggest thing we've ever done in this universe because we were polarized. And basically, we were learning by fighting with each other.
Right.
And now that's over. So we've gotten over all of that. We had a lot of dimensions where we weren't doing that anymore, but now we're just not doing it. So everything that you see is part of the 3D breaking down now on the outside. And it's really a play at this point. It's a movie. And it's more a movie now than it ever has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't focus on it. I
No.
try, if my son Michael comes in here and talks to me about anything political or going on in the world, war, I don't even look at any of that stuff. And wouldn't you advise everybody, Sister Honey, not to tune into that? Because, that's going to keep on. I mean, we've got Mother Earth blowing off volcanoes, earthquakes happening, all these things happening, countries fighting, all of that stuff. Isn't that going to continue to intensify and can you continue to rise? And we just need to focus on, ourselves and,
We
our
need to
lower.
focus mainly on ourselves. For me, I'm excited to see the steps that are happening, but I don't pay a lot of attention.
Right.
I probably have 10 minutes a day that are for the outside world, and that's when I gather things to show people it's happening. Look at XRP, look at these political things that are happening, and basically excited about them because this is something we've been waiting for a long time. It already happened in the background, and now we're seeing it in real time happening on the news in different areas, all over the internet. So I celebrate them. I think they're fun to me.
Right.
It's like, that's not really happening. Are they really fighting? No, they're not really fighting. They're showing us what's, the next steps that are happening so that we come into the abundance, and also so that we're ready for it, because there's been a lot of programs that were installed that basically we were holding it back. And because we were able to get into the fifth dimension, now it's time for everything to happen because we're going to do it in the right way. So we're going to build the new in the right frequency. We're not going to build it in a 3D frequency. And I think that was the biggest thing that had to happen. And it did. And it's been, I would say, close to a month that we've been in the fifth dimension. We've been in the fifth density longer than that. But we're in a really exciting time right now because there is no blueprint. There is no rule about we're going to do it this way.
Right.
So we are on our own creating, and that's really exciting because everybody's doing it. But not everybody knows they're doing it, and some people are still creating in the old way. So that's the switch,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's, life and death is in the tongue, and you shall eat the fruit of it. I've studied lots of religions all over the world: Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism. I can't even tell you how many books that I've read and studied, and 80% of it's about the same stuff. You're missing tremendous amounts of documents that they've hidden from us,
Oh
like
yeah.
Enoch, all the books of Enoch, 366 books of Enoch, and then all the other scriptures and manuals and stuff that they've hidden because they don't want people to step into their power. And I, for a long time, I remember I had my call center, I was handing out The Secret, the book The Secret. I was telling everybody, watch The Secret. I've been practicing law of attraction for decades. And it's so important that people don't speak negatively about themselves or about others or about their business or about anything, because it comes back to you. Now it comes back to you even faster because manifestation is accelerated tremendously. So that's awesome, but it also can be pretty not awesome if you are putting out the wrong stuff. And that's why I'm so excited. I see a lot of people in the community. There's a lot of people, because you brought a lot of people over. My son's brought a lot of people over. I'm so excited as we're getting the foundation going. But I see these people's cries. And I'm in there praying for people, loving on people. We're guiding people, we're giving them the tools in order to get, like, again, thrive through this, not barely survive or die through this. Because another thing, Sister Honey, that's happening, a lot of people are deciding they just want to check out.
Yeah.
And I've got business partners within the energy wellness company. He told me a great friend of his, a big family that's owned funeral homes and crematoriums since the early 1900s, have never been so busy. And because some people just can't handle the increase in this energy, and then everything's coming to surface, even stuff that maybe I've been holding on too long to, or relationships or business things that are now coming to the surface to deal with it. People, what is your, as we go through this, and now we got the summer solstice coming up on Friday evening, kind of after evening, afternoon, not night, but and now through Saturday. And one of the things, we've got a live event on Thursday night, 5 p.m. Central Time, and then we've got a collective prayer on Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central Time, which we're going to be talking about helping people get through this stuff. Because I feel in my heart that I'm here. I remember, I'm not going to broadcast lifetimes or different lifetimes of people, but I've been here in this rodeo quite a few times. This, Sister Honey, because you're very special. You have been here lots. Okay, you're a very old soul. But we were growing younger. But at the end of the day, this is happening. No one's going to stop Mother Earth from ascending. No one's going to stop this ascension from happening. There is two pathways. You can go down the one that's not going to be very nice, or you can go down the one that's going to be really beautiful, heaven on earth. And the old has to crumble down, in order for the new to be built away from it. You wouldn't buy a house that you were going to knock down and keep the foundation and rebuild a new house on the foundation. You remove everything and you start from scratch, because you want the land, but you don't want that old broken down house and that broken down foundation. And this whole system is built on greed, corruption, death, negative energy, the lowest kind of frequency that you could imagine. So, and a lot of people, again, Sister Honey, you're checking out. What I love about us coming together, yourself, my brother Brad, my son, and other brothers and sisters, to help support each other, pray for each other, send energy to each other. educate, work with people, because a lot of people, like, they're feeling like they have no hope. They have no hope
Mm.
to get through this. What's your advice for them on, as we're right now, again, the sun, I'm on a couple YouTube channels that I watch, I subscribe to. I'm not on them, but I subscribe to them. Boy, the sun is even getting more intense than it's been to date.
Yeah. So we're in the height of the solar activity, and that solar flash everybody talks about and that I used to talk about, it was going to happen all in one day.
Ooh.
Now, I think we would have lost a massive amount of people if that
Yes.
had happened. So we're not doing that now. And 3D and 4D have gone the way of the split. And really, anybody that's deciding to go right now, they're just ascending instantly. That's what's happening. They made it into the fifth density. Some of them have made it into the fifth dimension, but the energies are too big. And maybe they didn't sign up to be here throughout.
Right.
But if you feel like you're depressed or kind of drowning in the energies, just allow for yourself to cry it out,
Yes.
to take care of yourself, to stay home if you need to, and to not interact with anybody that's going to exacerbate that feeling inside of you. It's really important that we do self-care.
Yes.
Right now, we're in another self-care period, and things on the outside are probably going to speed up again this week. That's what I'm feeling. And all the way up until solstice and beyond. So we're going to see a lot more action on the outside, and it'll be comical, but also very crazy looking because they're doing multiple things at once. So within you, take care of you right now. And remember that we are in a game. That's really hard to comprehend, but your soul knows the best way for you. So they're the big player, and your soul is going to guide you in the best direction. So really keep that in mind and be willing to step out of your comfort zone soon. I think that's what we're being prepared for. A lot of us are going to basically want to talk publicly, maybe. We're going to want to say things and put things out and do more things that maybe we weren't comfortable doing. Maybe you're going to go on a tour, like an RV tour, and just be in nature. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Maybe you're going to meet people and create a community. There's a lot of stuff happening right now, and we're basically prepping to rebuild the earth. So we're a rebuilding society, and
Right.
we have to let it fall apart so that we can then rebuild it. But we will start rebuilding it before it falls completely apart.
Yeah, and it's exciting, so what's really happening in the energy field right now, the solar storms are increasing from the sun, from our sun. Earth is putting off its own frequencies.
Yes.
It's ascending. The divine, whether it's through the central sun, is hitting us. So we're getting this trifecta energy. You're saying, because I want to go through these points to make sure we cover each one. And so, the first phase of this thing is this thing has been accelerating. When I first met you, we were talking about this great separation of the split, and you said that already happened a few weeks back from when we
Yep.
talked about it, which is now a few months ago. So that's exciting to hear that. And again, it's accelerating. That split is splitting further. It's widening. From what I see, this energy is helping it do that. So how long do you feel? Because I know this week is going to, I can feel it. I mean, you can feel it. Everybody's feeling it. Mostly everybody's feeling it.
It's going to be
Um, yeah. And so when do you think, is that going to go through all of 2025? Do you think this energy is going to be, all of this stuff is going to be surfacing because Mother Earth's feeling it because you got volcanoes popping off. I know you were just in Hawaii doing your thing with that volcano over there,
Mhm.
that sister volcano, getting her calmed down and ready, and all of this stuff is happening. Do you foresee this lasting throughout the whole 2025? This energy, is the sun going to settle down at the
Uh,
end of it?
it will settle down. Like these energies will calm, but we will continue to see huge things going on.
Right.
Um, I feel like after this solstice, it will probably start to calm down. I feel like July is going to be really beautiful for people, and we're going to start to come together more and more as this goes on. But we have to see. I mean, really, it's up to us. How willing are we to change?
Right.
How willing are we to sit with ourselves and bring abundance into our bodies, like the energy of abundance
Right.
and the energy of change? Like for me, when I'm seeing stuff on the outside, I'm like, oh, awesome. That means things are changing.
Right.
That's bringing in more change. And I don't see it as scary or negative in any way
No.
because a lot of it is, it's a show, you know?
Well,
And yeah.
the spiritual world is more real than this 3D world or 5D, and so do I believe people are losing their lives? Of course. But at the end of the day, what does that mean? There's some cultures that actually celebrate death because they know there is no death because the soul is eternal, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so yeah, everybody's on their own journey. It's interesting, Sister Honey, because even with my wife, she went in and she did the seeker quiz, seeker stage quiz in stepinyourpower.com, and she's waking up. So here I'm at the expansion stage and leading, and we don't like to say lead, but giving from overflow, helping others through overflow of myself, just like you are, Brother Brad is, my son is, and other brothers and sisters are. My wife is at the waking up stage, so I'm watching front row seats what's happening to her with this energy. And because all people need to go in a prayer circle in the community, and you're going to see because Brother Jimmie's in there asking for prayer. Believe me when I'm telling you. So I can imagine because a lot of people that think they're awake are not awake, and they
Mm,
don't know how to deal with this energy. It's like what you said. When I see all of this shaking, let's just call it shaking, because we got to take this old system out completely into rubbles, into dust, into ashes, into nothingness. Okay. And then as that's happening, at the same time, we're building the new. And part of what we're doing with this community is gathering brothers and sisters together to make sure that they have quick access to projects that will be coming up all around the world,
right.
including spiritual communities that are going to be set up to anchor the divine's light here even more so on this planet. And I am super excited about it. I was telling you, I was, I was helping a lot with the Patriot movement, and there's a lot of beautiful patriots in there that are, they're going to need spiritual help, and some of them are spiritual and some of them are not. But what I see a lot in there is a lot of fighting and infighting and arguing and who's right and timelines and this date and that date, and none of these dates come, and fear porn and all of this stuff. And I have been telling you because I have said to you, because I've got other partners. I just got an email from one of my partners. The whole email was doom and gloom. I don't want to, I'm not, preaching doom and gloom here, but
Mhm.
here's the doom and gloom email that I'm going to give you. I read it and I said, great. If it happens, it happens. If, whatever. I have faith in the divine plan. I have faith that I know that all of this stuff has to fall apart. These militaries that
Mhm.
go around and all of this stuff has to fall apart. But a lot of people are tuning into this fear porn, and they don't understand that as they're tuning into that, they're putting that frequency out, and that's attracting all of that into their lives.
Yeah, it does. So they will get to the point of surrender. Like they will be like, okay, I've scared myself so much that now I'm just going to surrender and let it be taken care of. Just like if somebody, let's say they're homeless, they don't know where their next meal is going to come from, and they get to a point where they just have to surrender and allow.
Just allow.
Yeah, and allow for goodness to come back in. And that's where a lot of people are going to get to because they haven't been addressing all of their wounds. So we have traumas. And if you haven't addressed your traumas, then you're going to speak through your trauma like it's a lens.
Yes.
And a lot of people are doing that right now, including people that are truthers,
Right.
including people that are news people.
Yes.
And but on the other side of that, there's the people that are like, yay, it's happening. I'm so excited. We're going through the process. I knew this was what was going to happen and how it was going to roll out. And they're not focused on the dates anymore. And I haven't been focused on dates for years because I realized that the timelines can shift
Of
and then the
course.
date shifts because it's all about energy. It's not about the date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said something that's pretty profound, is the energy will stop. This excessive, tremendous amount of energy will stop when we're ready for it to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a blessing because it is bringing all of this stuff to the surface. It is pushing people to leave that past alone. There is no future in past. There is the now, the moment, this moment that you and I are here together recording this video. You
Mm-hmm.
have to learn to live in the now. You can't live in the past. You can't even live in the future. You can live in this moment right now and focus on the things right now. A lot of these people don't understand that, all of these frequencies and chemicals that go in their body when they go through trauma, when they continue to relive it, the body and the mind doesn't know that it didn't just happen again. So they're going through
Yeah.
that trauma over again, and they're starting to take out everything in their life, their health, their wealth, all of it's going down. Everybody's got wealth. You just haven't tapped into it energetically.
Right.
Wealth in all areas of your life. But it's interesting, I see more people. I feel really positive and excited. And I believe that there'll be a lot of brothers and sisters that are going to make it through this. Yes, is it
Oh, yeah.
going to be, Sister Honey's been doing this for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time. It accelerated. Remember, we talked the other day in 2016. Why
Mm-hmm.
did it happen? That was interesting because I was telling you my personal story about 2016, and then you told you it was in sync with what was happening to you, Brad, and probably a lot of other people. But it's exciting that we're going to get past. We will get past this, whatever it's going to take. If it takes a day, it takes a month, it takes 10 years, it takes 20 years, we'll leave this planet again and it's still being worked on. I don't know, but I am so grateful and so excited to be here for this and to
Yeah.
be a participant in it and to do these weekly updates, if you want to call them episodes. People call them all different kind of things. The spirit will tell us what to call it. But to be able to help people, to help them again thrive through it and not just survive through it or die through it, which some people are dying through it. They
Mm-hmm.
absolutely are not making it. And being optimistic about everything, positioning yourself right, like with silver, or I'm not a financial advisor, not a
Right.
financial advisor,
Me either.
but positioning yourself with things like XRP, XLM, and silver, because silver's so undervalued, it's
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous, and it's utilized in wellness. And wellness, by the way, is going to $9 trillion by 2028. I mean, that's tremendous. And then robotics, AI, all of the things that are happening. Silver is a big commodity, but also having assets like land and your house or your cars or your equipment, making sure that you position yourself financially to be in good shape no matter what happens to this fiat toilet paper, because it
Mm-hmm.
ain't worth anything. It's our labor that gives it any value. So this is going to happen. So what's your opinion on that, Sister Honey? I mean, as far as I don't want to give dates, but I can see the writing on the wall with the current financial system is like it is teetering.
It's
You know,
happening right now. Yeah. So, really, how fast it happens is up to us. And how willing are you to spend time accepting abundance? You could do a meditation on feeling like you have
yes,
much more abundance and what are you going to do with it? You can make lists of properties that you're going to buy that you're going to create projects for. Lists of things you're going to sponsor and give away money for. So think about those things and feel that abundance and get your cells used to feeling it. Get your subconscious used to feeling it. Say the words, I am so abundant. I don't know what to do with all my money.
yes,
Do those kind of things, and that's going to change your perspective. Your subconscious is the one that carries the broken record of lack. So you need to start switching that out and heal the wounds that go with money. I know before I went on YouTube, I had to heal the money wounds. So
yeah,
I went through all my money wound stuff. And was I doing fine before that? Yes. But I decided to quit my job and not be a manager anymore and come into this space and switch my life when 2020 hit. And I wasn't satisfied with what was going on. So I did that. I attracted what I needed so that I could build my business. And I also attracted time for myself so I could figure out what in the world am I doing, because I was changing my life completely.
right,
And that's when, I decided to be my real self. And money wounds, they come from your parents. They come from not feeling worthy. They come from not being allowed to get the gumball out of the machine when you're a little kid. Like there's so many things that money wounds come from, and it's important to work through those. So if you think you have one, ask for it to pop up
yes.
so you can heal it.
Yeah, I'm excited to, again, I give all the glory to God for, the divine for putting me in my position that I'm in. And I don't have that, paycheck to paycheck
Mhm.
situation going on, not even a month to month thing. But at the end of the day, most people do.
Right.
And you have to get past that. You have to be grateful for everything that you have right now and give gratitude for it. Every day when I take a shower, I give gratitude for my toothbrush, my toothpaste, my dental floss, my shampoo, my conditioner, my body soap, my scrubber, my shower head, all of it, because I know the secret. And the secret is what I give, I get. So the
Yeah.
more gratitude I give, the more I get to give gratitude for. The
Mhm.
more prayers I give in stepinyourpower.com under the prayer requests, the more people pray for me. The more people I do comments for on their posts, good posts, the more I get comments back. More hearts and loves and praying hands I give, the more I get back. I understand the secret. I understand the rules of existence.
Mhm.
You get what you give, you get what you say. You're made in the image of the divine. You are a powerful being. So if you're always speaking or thinking or vibrating lack, you will get lack. And with these energies, now I want to talk about the solstice energy coming up here. Prophetic insight to this weekend summer solstice gateway. Honey, let you fill everybody, Sister Honey, on that. But you got to be aware, even though I've been doing this for decades, I still get sometimes stinking thinking coming in, but I got the way to get it out. I can
Mhm.
turn it around. I don't let it take hold. I think about good things. Take a column exercise, do a column exercise, take a sheet of paper, draw down the middle of it, and put all the great things that are happening in your life. and then all the things that you don't like, you know what I mean? And then get rid of those things that you don't like and replace them with the things that you do like, and keep doing that in every area of your life, from your wellness to your finance to, your family time, your relationship to your business. People need to journal. People need to actually, what you said, something that's really important about writing things down, because
Yeah.
there's power in the written word too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's power in saying it, but when you write it too, that's extremely, extremely powerful.
It makes it a solid.
Makes it a solid.
Yeah. So if you think about, like, we're a solid at this point, your body is a solid. And it's just because it's vibrating at a certain frequency. So you're basically putting it into a solid. So you have a thought. So energy, liquid is you're speaking it out. So you're making that more solid. And they've proven this at this point. And then when you write it down, it becomes a solid, like you're bringing it into existence. And if you can do that also in your body, which is also another solid, is it really solid? No, you could see right through it. Like, it's mostly empty space, but we perceive it as a solid. So if you bring it into your body, then you're also creating a solid, and then you're becoming magnetic,
Right. Like
because
a
you're like,
magnet.
yeah, I'm abundant.
Yeah.
I have more money than I know what to do with.
Yes.
And guess what? You become it. And
You
then it
become it.
shows up. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about, after you give a update, kind of like, the prophecy. What's the prophetical insight for this weekend Summer Solstice Gateway? Like, what do you see
Really,
there from a prophetic standpoint? From a prophetic standpoint, what do you see there?
I see bigger disclosure, more movement, and kind of a chaos energy coming in over this week. So on the outside, but I actually feel like we're going to become more calm, and we're going to become more accepting of abundance. And that will ramp up even bigger after solstice.
After solstice, that's very, very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
And so, how would you tell people to prepare for the wave of light rising this week? And I know that we have a lot of the tools in the stepintoyourpower.com, and we'll have a link in the description below. But a lot of tools in there. I'm watching people go from seeker stage, waking up, to the next seeker stage, realigning or reawakening. I mean, it's just so beautiful to see all the things happening in there, because people are actually choosing to utilize those tools to help. But what would you say for what people need to do, for what's going on this week? Besides what we said, would you recommend salt baths? Would you recommend meditation? We have affirmations in the practice portal. So, and I'll show that towards the end here. I'll go in and show the portal, what we call
Mm-hmm.
Step Into Your Power Spiritual Portal. But what would you recommend, sister?
So I would do, really make sure you're getting your minerals. So a full spectrum mineral complex, and a lot of salt. So sea salt, not regular salt. And I would take the step into your power information that is, meditations and activations. I would take those into nature with you, and I would do them in nature. So even if that's like out in your yard, and take your shoes off. That's what I would do right now.
Grounding. I have a grounding mat underneath my desk, and when I was in Dominican Republic and Las Terrenas, I would walk the beach with my feet. I'd go in the ocean barefooted, got in the ocean with the salt. I think that my wife was just walking over there. I think she had the salt that I ordered for me to take every day with the minerals, but I take a lot
Okay.
of supplements. I feel fantastic, but, like, again, I'm getting tired a little bit. When I get tired, or I'll lose focus. And so I'm just being kind to myself. I'm just like, not saying, okay, I can slow down. I can slow down. I can really slow down. It's
Mhm.
so important to slow down and just, let just let this energy go through you and let it do that upgrade, which is going to help humanity. Because when you're shining your light, you're helping others, you're adding to the collective. And this is what's going to help ascend Mother Earth. This is what's going to help ascend humanity. And what I tell people, Sister Honey, is, the first most important thing that we all do is make sure we have that clean connection to the divine
Hmm.
and all of our higher self, right? And
Right.
then it's the next thing is take care of yourself and not worry about everybody else's journey, because there's nothing you can do for them except for yourself. And then that will reflect on them. That
Hmm.
will, they'll feel the energy from it. Believe me, I light this house up, so they feel the energy. I'm sure, Sister Honey, you light your house up. And when people aren't, spiritually grounded, they get very nervous around you. You know what I mean? They can't take the energy. It feels
Yeah.
very uncomfortable for them. But and those people will have to choose. Everybody's on their own timeline, but those people will have to choose, are they going to go through this? Are they going to thrive through this? Or they're not going to make it? That's all 100% their choice. Everything in anybody's life right now is 100% their doing. That's one thing that people don't like to do, Sister
Yep.
Honey. They don't like to take responsibility for their current circumstances. The good news is, well, I guess the bad news and good news. So the bad news is everything that's terrible in your life is your responsibility. You've made it.
Yep.
You've brought it there. The good news is that you brought it there, and you can remove it, and you can change
Hmm.
it, and you can change it quick, because manifestation's happening very quickly,
So fast.
super fast,
So
right?
fast. Yeah. And just enjoy this time, you guys. We're in the most magical time that we've ever been in for the last 300,000 years.
Wow, that's a long time, Sister Honey.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
So really just enjoy it.
And it's interesting because we put this community together, stepintoyourpower.com, and I want to show that before we go here today on our
Mhm.
first update episode, whatever. And by the way, you can see a little bit of my green screen behind me. Brother Jimmie's not glowing green, it's just the green screen behind. But it's so exciting to see what's happening in that community. And you were saying you've never seen a community give for free what we're giving for free, and
Mhm.
where you see this going in this community, a bit basically being the communication hub for all of us together, on top of putting projects in there,
Yeah.
besides having all the tools and all of that in the portal itself. um, can you speak about that? Because when you said what you said to me about step into your power, and by the way, it's so amazing on the 369 cipher, my son does gematria, that it comes out 111, step into your power. I
Yeah.
mean,
I love that. So good. So I see it as a hub. And basically, what we're doing is we're allowing for people to uncover who they are by giving them community and skills. But the big thing is it's going to be a hub, like a one-stop shop for Ascension. And it's going to have lists of where the projects are and what the projects are. And some of them will be online and some of them will be on the ground, in a brick and mortar situation. It's going to help people come together. It's going to help people find somebody if they need to have an appointment with someone about their body, or maybe they're not happy and they need to figure out some component in their life. But it's going to have all of the stuff.
that they need
Yeah.
to, to
Everything that they
thrive,
need. Right.
to thrive through it. Let me go in there real quick. And again, it's a free community. We do also have an Ascension Mastery where we're going to be working on brothers and sisters that are expanding, that are overflowing, to bring guides throughout the world and
Mhm.
actually build spiritual communities throughout the world. So every like-minded people can live together, frequency people that are vibrating in the same frequency. Could you imagine having your town or a community full of human beings that are vibrating in the highest level frequency? Just amazing. We already see miracles happening in here. you know, which is really, really super exciting. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me know if you can see it okay, Sister Honey.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, so it is exciting. I mean, I'm in my admin and I can just, things are happening over and over and over again and again and again, new activity. But when you come into the portal, maybe I need to open now my screen is very big, so you're going to see Brother Jimmie looking up here. Okay, so when you come in here, the very first thing we tell people to do is go to begin here and actually go through and take an hour of your time. If you break it up in 15-minute chunks, 10-minute chunks, whatever, and go through this page, and not including these 7 day guided affirmation meditations, which you should do. Brother Brad did these meditations for all of you. They got Reiki healing in them. They got frequency healing music behind them. They're powerful. But go through this, you learn the portal, and then, you know, for free, everybody coming in here, you got access to the power portal. You got access to the sacred solutions. You got access to the prayer circle. You got access to the sacred support. This is a community where we're coming together and we're helping each other. And you've got the chat, you've got the feed, you've got things going up here to help you. You got all of these tools in here. Like I go through this every morning, Sister Honey, and night. I go through the morning empowerment. I read all of this up to here. And then at the end of the night, I got my gratitude prayer I read, and then I read this every day. Every day I do it. So we got everything that they need. Now, what I was going to tell people too is, and you can see stuff that I'm working on in here because I'm in my admin.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say to people and is that right now in the morning you should be hitting 493 hertz healing frequency, and you can read about it when you click on here. And again, it's free to join. And then you should in the afternoon, mid-afternoon, hit the 528. And then in the evening, hit the 432. Put some earplugs in and listen to it. These frequencies right here, morning, mid-afternoon, evening, morning, mid-afternoon, evening, will help you get through this energy that we're getting hit with, and with this summer solstice coming. So it's something that I just posted. I just did a post on this in here. And I know, Sister Honey, you're putting exclusive content in here. I'm putting exclusive content in here where you can't get it anywhere else. And I just did this post on what you need to do to go through the solstice. Light requires sacred sound, and morning, midday, evening, very important. And this costs you zero, nothing. So time, time here this week, we've got, this is for our Ascension Mastery, where we teach them about business. This is open to all members. This is on June 19th, which is a couple of days away. Then we have a collective prayer live, about 24 hours, a little bit more than 24 hours after the summer solstice. And then we've got our second Ascension Mastery training live. And then we got our energy body reset that's open to the public. So, you know what excites me, Sister Honey, about this, and let me just stop sharing, is that they have everything, all these brothers and sisters have everything they need to move through these seeker stages and to step into their power like never before. And it doesn't cost them anything but their time. And they can congregate with other brothers and sisters that are like-minded. They can be in the now of understanding what's going on as we bring in some of these sacred projects for humanity, to improve the planet for humanity and the whole living conditions and all of that. And it almost makes me not to want to do anything else. I've told you this before, because I feel such, and you can go in there and look at the comments and look at what people are saying, and just feels so good to do it.
Because it's a community and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And it's going to be the community that really creates the new world. So why wouldn't you want to be in it? You know, like to me, it's just amazing that you came up with the idea and then you gathered people and we're doing it together. And we're shining right now. Like it's time for the light workers to shine.
Yes.
And we're giving you a place to do that. And I'm just, I can't even really describe how excited I am, because it's going to be kind of like the flower of life. And each petal will be a different area that you can utilize for your process of ascension. So, yeah, it's exciting.
It's exciting, sister, and I am so excited to do these weekly with you. Really, really super excited. We're going to end this one
Yep.
here now. Any final words before we go here, sister?
Just love yourself through these next few weeks, because they will be big, but they will be really important that they happen. They're very important that they happen. And the more that you can be excited for change, the more change and the better change we're going to get. So just keep working on that, I would say.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we love you all very much. Come
Mm-hmm.
and walk with us and stepintoyourpower.com. You won't regret it. We promise you that. You'll see other brothers and sisters. There's thousands of people in there. There'll be millions and millions of people in there. And you'll find more and more people in your local community to congregate with, to help
Mm-hmm.
you. And you got, there's strength in numbers, right? Pray for each other, love on each other. And you have an online community to do it. You'll build your offline community to do it. It's exciting times. Well, I love you all very much, and love you, Sister Honey. Thank you so much
Love you
for being
too.
you. And we will see you folks next time. Take care. God bless.